is the second round of the Corona Open J-Bay. We're seeing the current world number 7, Mikey Wright, the wild card once again here, taking on current world number 24, Jesse Mendes of Brazil. Up for the party as well. Mikey Wright's going to get things started early. Having a look over the shoulder. Knows he's on a medium-sized wave. Let's see what we can do with this one. Looking to apply some pressure to the full-time campaigner with a couple of big turns here on the inside. Has those big end section turns he can rely on, but at the moment just leaning hard on his rails. There's the reverse, almost sticks it. Can't quite ride out though, so plenty of time on the clock. This one just getting underway. Still 32 minutes to go. Getting himself to 7th place on the ratings. And in all honesty, this guy's got a world title shot as a wild card.
He does. You know, you're considering that he is sitting in that top 10 picture and coming off of those 2 semifinals and looking to keep going here. This is a perfect venue for him to be able to showcase that forehand power. Plus he has this type of surfing to offer us and the judges.
Little entry into this wave to provide a bit of speed to get down the line and set up a big first turn. Mentioned Jesse's form through the first 5 events of the season. He's looked really sharp. He just hasn't had that big breakthrough result just yet. There's a solid start to this ride though. Again, up into the pocket, releasing plenty of water. This wave's got a really slow pace to it. It's allowing Jesse to get a nice rhythm on the back end. Setting up a nice track through the inside now. Here's the double up. He's going to stick with the turns though. So plenty of maneuvers.
Jesse's wave, even a little slower paced. You know, it didn't quite have those big vertical sections. One there, and then another here, but it isn't quite as vertical. You know, the steeper sections are actually the critical sections. Those are the types of waves you want to find those bigger maneuvers in. That's where the judge is going to reward the bigger points. But see how this wave was kind of slow through this midsection here, never really standing up until finally at the end. And then at this point, feels like that maneuver is a little early, which put him late to the end section. Here's Mikey's wave. This is the wave directly after Jesse Mendes. And just sets up this next section, tagging it right on the button. And that arc, you know, he uses that bigger frame to just lay into those maneuvers. I mean, you can see this section just kept standing up for him. Banging it in the lip, out in the face, so a good healthy mix and showcasing the variety. Would have loved to have seen him pull off this last move though.
And have a look at this. Love that angle from the drone. Mikey up, trying to get rid of a 4.67 here. Big float to kick this thing off. He is going to stick that rail a little too deep on that second maneuver. Staying with it, hoping to get back out in front. Looks like he will. And it almost looked like it might barrel for him there. Needs to do something special on the inside. He finds a bit of cover.
See what happened to Mikey here. Again, this is a little bit smaller wave. Almost right there, there's a little bit of a stumble. Kept it together, and then that dig of the rail really sets him behind this section and had to work to get back out front. So the flow of this ride affected heavily in the beginning of it. And now setting up the barrel and sees it down the line, doesn't get super deep. Gets touched by the wall. Jesse Mendes on a bigger wave on the outside. Let's see what he gets done before that fall, because it could be pretty important in the grand scheme of things here. Look at this beautiful wave. So wave number 2, both times in this first 2 sets of this heat, has been the better one. So this time, Jesse getting the better of it. Look at that beautiful canvas. Tagged out on the button there, straight back to the bottom again, and that's the fall. That was so important to be able to pull that over event, being that he was actually given a wild card through his sponsor, but also the fact that he had produced and he looked good against the world champs.
Well, he missed an opportunity on his last wave to get himself further ahead. He's trying to make up for it here, but so deep in this barrel. Can't find his way through it. And the fans letting these surfers know what's coming their way. Jesse Mendes Pulling the trigger here, using his priority, chasing a 5.62, steep section to lay into. A really swift carve off the top, keeping that down the line flow. Loading up once again now for something huge. And he hammers it, pulls that nose out of the lip. Maintains his control. Now just starting to click into a nice pace through the inside. The way he's going to get away, but he likes the feel of that ride. Surfing on edge, the Brazilian. 6 minutes to go. Will that see him into the lead?
And you know what? The steeper sections, and he went for it. There was that moment when his nose almost dug on the best turn of the wave. You know, you can see he has to look over his shoulder. Beautiful carving snap there. Really an extra bit of speed. This is the one maneuver where he almost puts the nose down. Look at that. Almost stuffs it in there, but keeps it above. And the speed still flying down the line. Again, another beautiful section where he hits it right in the button. So I feel like this is going to be his best wave yet.
And let's see what he can lay down. Needs a couple of big turns on this ride. A 6.99 required. Float falling out of the lip, getting out in front of it. Layback jam into the pocket. Still moving nicely. Again, moving a lot of water and getting back out in front of this ride. On his way to the score, but it's not there yet. That might help him get there. Bit of release in the tail. Bit of risk in that move. Through to the inside. Mikey chipping away at this one. Climbing the roof. Tail drop float. So a completed ride. A medium-sized wave. Did he do enough, Pete?
Wow. 6.99. So basically a 7. And he did have some massive maneuvers on that wave. I feel like it could be just enough. We'll see, though.
It's going to be right there. He's had lots of these close calls through the season, and
they have all gone his way. Yeah, they all have gone his way. So let's see if it keeps that trend going. Again, let's take a look at it. We get to see the replay here. Not a super difficult move there, but that one, massive. You know, but then the little step of the rail. Again, just kind of missed the rhythm of being able to connect it together. But there's another massive move, and I think at that point you're like going, okay, probably going to be there. And he completes this ride at the very end. You know, we're looking at comparisons to what we've seen. You know, the 7.33 of Jesse Mendes, different style of surfing. Definitely more maneuvers done by Mikey Wright and probably a little bit more on edge. Just lacked a little flow for me. And, you know, and how does that affect what the judges want to see? As you see that layback snap, that is definitely on edge. That was probably the turn of the heat.
Yeah, the most high-risk turn for sure. I think there's been maybe some more precise turns, some cleaner turns, but Mikey Wright putting it on the line with that move, and he's going to be well rewarded. A 7.9 with 10 seconds remaining is after an 8.25. Meanwhile, down the line, Mikey Wright's going to take to the air, loses his board. Can he get to his feet in time, Mendes? It looks like he does.
Important wave right here.
He's got to match Mikey's best wave, the 8.27. To get himself up into the lead. Draws off the bottom into the pocket. Huge backhand snap there. A lot of release in the tail. This wave, though, is starting to separate. Will it run again? Doubling up now on the inside. Jesse looking for a big finish. Up into the hook again. Clouts that section. Needs to plug a finish on the end of this ride. And it needs to be a good one. Solid.
Wow.
A composed performance, but did it have the firepower unloaded on that ride?
It's not a slam dunk. That's by no means a slam dunk. The best turns on the backhand in this heat by a long shot. Good zest in that first maneuver. And then this one here, getting the release. Look at that. Whack. Actually, this is the one. All that speed, getting the release, foot right on the tail block. The only disadvantage here is that breaking apart of the wave right here. But still, keeps the speed going and was able to rattle off a couple more maneuvers on this inside section. Again, that vertical approach, much different than what we see Mikey Wright doing.
For me, the 7.93 was better. It was the same story for the judges. Jesse Mendes falling short on his last ride, and the wild card survives the second round. Mikey Wright with a heat score total of 16.17, the highest of the event so far, is through.